Hi friends, Beau Rials here. Join me today as we take a little trip back in time for a vintage American destinations travel video. Enjoy.
Do you like to travel, see new places? Me too. But you know, as much as I like to sit by the pool and sip those cute little umbrella drinks, I like to get off the beaten path, meet new people, see new places. But if you're like me, time is always an issue. Hi, I'm Beau Rials, here to show you how and where to make the most of your weekend excursions. So come along with me as we explore California's wild and wonderful Big Sur Coast.
At times, lush and plentiful. At other times, stark and forbidding. The Big Sur Coast of California is without question an enigma. Situated on the Pacific Ocean in the most populated of all U.S. states, this stretch of land, spanning roughly 100 miles, plays host to millions of visitors a year, yet still remains inhabited by less than 1,000 permanent residents. Stay tuned as we take you from historic Monterey, California, down the Big Sur Coast. Monterey is called by many the place where California began, and for good reason. It can be said that in terms of historical importance, Monterey is to the west coast what the settlements of Jamestown and Plymouth are to the east coast.
The year was 1542. Spanish explorer Cabrillo set out here in Monterey Bay, close enough to see the pine forest and the white sand beaches. But because of high seas, which are still very prevalent in this area, he couldn't come ashore. Some 60 years later, though, another Spanish explorer, Vizcaíno, did, and claimed this beautiful land for the country of Spain.
Vizcaíno named the bay for the Count of Monterey, Viceroy of Mexico. Once back for good in the 1770s, the Spanish established Monterey as capital of what then became known as Alta California. And after the Mexican-American War, Monterey became the first capital of the state of California. Through preserved buildings and adobes, the hand of Spain is seen all around Monterey.
You know, if you were bringing something into Monterey Bay, or especially taking something out in the 1800s, you had to go through this place first.
The Custom House, the oldest government building in California, its north wing dating back to 1827. The Larkin House, with its combination of Spanish colonial and New England features, became the prototype for other structures within the city. The Pacific House, built in 1847, now houses a museum of California history and Native American artifacts. Another classic Monterey structure turned museum is the Colton House Museum, where California's first Constitution was drafted in 1849.
It looks a little bit like Graceland. I think so. I think it does. That's Graceland. You think I'm joking with you? That really looks like Graceland. It really does. I'm gonna go find the jungle room. I'll be right.
Well, we can't say that the king of rock and roll ever slept at the Colton House. However, taking the path of history through old Monterey is a must for any visitor.
Early on, the Monterey economy was based around fishing, especially whaling. By the 1880s, tourism took over. But then came the roaring 20s, and center stage was taken by the sardine here on Cannery Row.
At its peak, 16 canning and 14 reduction plants processed 250,000 tons of sardines annually. The industry and its people inspired local author John Steinbeck to write the prize-winning classics Cannery Row and Sweet Thursday, among others. Though the sardine was fished out by the 50s, the row had just begun to live. One of the most historic canneries on Cannery Row now houses the crown jewel of Monterey. The Howden Cannery is the nucleus of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the anchor of the new Cannery Row. Within its walls, the aquarium harbors more than 5,000 different creatures. Over 300 species are represented here, nearly all native to Monterey Bay.
You know, I really want to sink my teeth into Monterey, so I'm going to go to the old Fisherman's Wharf. Come on along with me, check it out.
From the step of historic Cannery Row, Old Fisherman's Wharf stretches into Monterey Bay. Whether it's sampling shops, the restaurants, the view, the wildlife, or all of the above, any amount of time on the wharf widens one's horizons. But, most importantly, it's a heck of a lot of fun.
I'm going to take care of him. Are you okay? Are you all right? Ow! We gotta help! We gotta get you out. What do? We buy him and we cook him. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Give me that. 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 Ow! 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 My favorite part about Fisherman's Wharf are the free chowder samples. Oh, I believe I will. Thank you. Mm. Mm.
As day number one of my road trip began to wind down in Monterey, I figured it was time to get acquainted with my place to stay for the night, a luxury waterfront hotel on Cannery Row, where the only thing as nice as the view is the staff.
We're here with Shepard. Shepard, good to see you, my friend. You are the concierge here at the beautiful Monterey Plaza Hotel. This is the most beautiful hotel I've ever seen. But beyond that, can you tell us why people should stay here?
Well, I would think that this would be the hotel of choice in Monterey, just for the simple fact that it's right on the ocean. It's the only hotel in Monterey that is actually located directly over the bay.
The hotel is actually an old cannery, much as all these hotels are. Is that correct?
That is right. That is right. Actually, if you go down to Cannery Row, it's kind of like a path of history here. And if you walk along, you will see a lot of different areas that have been modernized, I guess you could say, but you still have the same feel from back when it was the canneries and the fishing and the olden times.
If you just joined us, we're enjoying California's rocky Big Sur Coast. You don't need a lot of time and a lot of money to do this. So let's go have some fun, huh? Come on.
Just next door to Monterey is the city of Pacific Grove. Founded in 1875 as a religious and cultural retreat, Pacific Grove possesses an amazing collection of Victorian homes, some of which have become elegant bed and breakfast lodgings. Set just a short walk apart, the Seven Gables and Green Gables Inns are among the area's most spectacular. At the tip of the peninsula is Point Pinos and its legendary lighthouse. Since 1855, this beacon of the Pacific has worked round the clock at keeping ships on the water and off the rocks. Heading south, we hug the coastline via one of the most amazing stretches of paved road in the world. Now, in the early days, this scenic drive was an all-day carriage ride where passengers would often stop at a Chinese fishing village to eat and purchase souvenirs. Today, your trip through 17-mile drive takes you by some of the most beautiful and expensive real estate in the world, not to mention a few great golf courses.
Well, this is the 17th green at the Mecca of golf, better known as Pebble Beach, home of the 2000 U.S. Open. So the next question is, why am I still standing here?
Arguably one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the Pebble Beach Golf Links has played host to an annual PGA tournament for nearly 50 years and has been the site of 4 United States Open championships since 1972. 17-mile drive also drops you on the doorstep of such points of interest as the Lone Cypress, Bird Rock, and such world-class golf courses as Cypress Point and Spyglass Hill. One of the exits out of 17-mile drive drops you off in beautiful Carmel. Originally an inexpensive haven for writers and artists, Carmel is a settlement that deliberately set out to remain a village. This enchanting town legally tolerates no neon signs, no parking meters, no high-rises, no street lights, and no plastic plants. Wow. Somebody told me that the Macanudo Maduro, let me just, the whiff, I'll take 7 of these.
Well, actually, I could only afford one when I heard the great news about one of my favorite old haunts.
Did Hog's Breath open back up again?
Yes, it's reopened.
Oh, that's great. Guys, we got to go to Hog's Breath.
Yeah. This was supposed to be something breast in, and they changed it to the Hog's Breath.
So they couldn't get breast in by the censors. I wonder why.
I don't think there's any connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Life is good. Real good. Follow me. To the Hog's Breath.
Whether or not the Hog's Breath is still owned by legendary actor and former mayor of Carmel, Clint Eastwood, is anybody's guess. One thing is for sure, there is no better place in this little burg to have yourself a cold one. Plus, you never quite know who or what you'll meet.
What you will find in Carmel are beautiful hotels, art galleries, elegant restaurants, as well as its oldest and best attractions, its breathtaking beaches, and the magical Mission San Carlos Borromeo de Carmelo, the most famous of all the California missions. Heading south just 4 miles down Pacific Coast Highway, we find Point Lobos Marine Sanctuary. Now, this is a place so amazing in its rich beauty that Robert Louis Stevenson called Point Lobos, and I quote, the most beautiful meeting of land and sea on earth. Forming the southern arm of Carmel Bay, Point Lobos Reserve contains nearly 1,300 acres of jagged rock and intimate coves. Now, my favorite spot is China Cove, located in the very south end of the reserve. This perfect little beach is an ultimate hiding spot for lovers looking for just a little bit of privacy. 20 minutes south of Point Lobos, I began to get an idea of why this stretch of Highway 1 has become so famous when I spot the magnificent Point Sur. Now, the landscape here on the upper Big Sur Coast is relatively sublime at this point. That is, compared to what lies ahead.
This has been some day. I tell you, I am in love with the Big Sur Coast already, but my feet are absolutely burning. So, yeah, the Big Sur River. You can only do this at the Big Sur River Inn. This is where we're kicking back tonight.
Traveling south on Pacific Coast Highway, the River Inn is the first lodging you encounter as you reach Big Sur proper. No phones, no TV, just relaxation. The peace and tranquility of the River Inn truly does give you the essence of Big Sur, a place with a different clock than ours, one that sometimes seems to somehow stand still.
Is life great or what, huh? Welcome back to the show that saves you time and money by showing you the how and where to make the most of your weekend excursions. I'm your host, Beau Rials. Now back to California's Big Sur Coast. Well, at Big Sur, this is the mother of all beaches. This is Pfeiffer State Beach. We're minutes away from the coastal redwoods, which are basically up there. And of course, here we are, in our little bit of paradise.
It's absolutely true. Within minutes of hopping back in the car and simply heading up Sycamore Canyon Road, I suddenly found myself cruising among the giants.
This is the tallest living organism on Earth. Some of these reach 350 feet in height, some 15 to 20 feet in diameter, and maybe more impressively, some of them live to be 3,000 years old. Well, how does that all happen, you might ask? Well, these big trees create their own microenvironment, giving off a great balance of moisture, temperature, and shelter, and that's how they do it. You know, another great thing about these beautiful, majestic redwoods is a mature guy like this, or girl, no offense, gives off 500 gallons of water a day into our atmosphere. We need that. Good boy.
The next morning, I headed south again to meet up with a local guide who was hired to do just one thing: take me off the beaten path.
This is the bottom of Salmon Creek Falls. The top of the falls is about 300 feet up there, and I'm going to take you up, and we're going to go underneath the cave right in there.
There's a cave up there?
Yeah, there's a cave right in there. We're going to go look at that.
I've seen that on a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm going to get to live it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
Well, it turns out the path was well traveled, but not by much.
Well, if you want to get somewhere in life, you got to work hard. We're working hard at getting to Salmon Creek Falls. That's all I have to say. That way?
Yeah, keep coming down. Hang on. Use your hands.
Well, the key here is to use your hands, I've been told. Hang on! Because the waterfall's right down there. Well, we're going to the edge of the waterfall, right here. Justice says this is pure spring water coming out of here, flowing out of the mountains over the top of Big Sur. We're on the south coast. This is Salmon Creek, and Justice is drinking the water right out of the side of the hill. I think I'm going to do the same. Pretty thirsty.
Life indeed was good, but do be careful if you hike to the top of Salmon Creek Falls. Things can get a little bit slippery, but heading back down the trail, now that's a lot of fun. After having my life flash before my eyes in a watery cave above Big Sur, I was ready for Justice to get me back to sea level. Remembering that I had to bring something home for my lovely bride, Justice's suggestion that we end our morning at Jade Cove sounded absolutely perfect.
It's called Jade Cove because you can find little pieces of jade, little gems. You can hang around your neck, give to your spouse, give to your loved one, your significant other, or just keep it for yourself.
In the 1800s, Chinese boats collected green and golden jade at this one little chip out of the rugged Pacific coastline. In 1971, divers worked for months removing what turned out to be one for the Guinness Book of World Records, a boulder of jade that weighed over 9,000 pounds.
See, us serious rock hounds know the difference between jade. All found here at Jade Cove on the south coast of Big Sur. Now, this is called Vulcan. Don't ask me why. This is called regular jade. Is that translucent or what? And this is called midnight jade. Why? Why, it's midnight blue-green.
If you come to seek treasures at Jade Cove, just remember to always come at low tide for the best results, and never be fooled by serpentine. Remembering that my digs for the night didn't accept reservations, I decided to push on. Built in the 1930s, just after the completion of the Coast Highway, the Lucia Lodge was just exactly what the doctor ordered. Gotta tell you, it was nice snoozing 700 feet above the roaring Pacific Ocean. But if you decide to stay at the Lucia Lodge, just remember a few things. It's wild, it's first come, first served, and try not to look down.
Welcome back to the show. Well, so far you've seen you don't need a lot of money and certainly not a lot of time to see our country's most amazing places. We've enjoyed so far Monterey, Carmel, Point Lobos, and most of Big Sur. But our trip down California's Big Sur Coast ends with a great exclamation point, and it's called Morro Rock.
Nearly 140 miles south of Monterey lies the once sleepy fishing village of Morro Bay. It's now an easygoing getaway for tourists from California and abroad. In Morro Bay, you'll get your fill of fresh seafood, scenic views, fantastic shops, and a unique local aquarium that's always a popular place for kids. But the real attraction of Morro Bay was created over 20 million years ago, when volcanic activity made the mighty Morro Rock.
Well, there it is. Morro Rock in beautiful Morro Bay. Where many people say the Big Sur Coast begins, we're going to end our trip. Thanks for coming along with me. I'm Beau Rials. It's been great showing you the Big Sur Coast, one of the most outstanding places on the planet. Remember, taking care of places like this begins with me and you. We'll see you next time. We'll do a little fishing. Take care. We'll do one more. Is that all right? It's going to be a great time, even though we're getting a little rain. You'll get that on the Big Sur Coast. I've had a great time showing it to you. And remember, sorry, Rich, I got to get my name in there. Well, there it is, the Morro Rock at beautiful Morro Bay. It's really where the Big Sur... Jesus. Well, there it is, Morro Rock in beautiful Morro Bay. Many say this is where the Big Sur Coast begins, and this is where our show will end. Thanks for coming along with me. I'm Beau Rials. Thanks for... Sorry. So this is when you don't write this... Did you see that lightning? That was lightning. You sure you don't want the thunder? Thanks for coming along with me as we've explored... Here comes the truck. Well, this is where our show is going to end. Thanks for coming along with me. I'm Beau Rials. It's been a great time showing you. Gotta do it again. Isn't that something? Beautiful Morro Rock here in Morro Bay. Whoa! I better hurry. All right, here we go. We got one good one. Well, there it is, the Morro Rock in beautiful Morro Bay. Many people. I'm Beau Rials. Thanks for coming along with me as we together have explored. Well, I've got it.